Hello, this is Francesca Lombardo and I run two labels, Echolette and Echoe. When I started Echolette 10 years ago, I always wanted to have my own label because, it was nice and easy to release stuff, especially back in the days. There was a lot. I was living on top of vinyl press, and they were my friends, so it was pretty straightforward. All my friends were making records and releasing stuff, and I really needed to do it myself. It was so easy. I just go downstairs, say, "Hey, I need to press this," you know, and that's it. So it was pretty easy, and there was a lot of new music going on. There was this minimal wave that came into the scene, and I was so into it, like a bit like minimal and a lot of bongos and like percussions and I had a few friends that were making amazing music, and I just wanted to release, like release my stuff and their stuff. And I started like with Echolette because I really loved the name, and it was the name of the first analog echo machine ever invented by Echolette, and I just felt it was a really cute name. And then with the years, when I got into crosstown, I had a little break from it because I was concentrating on my stuff. And then when I started again, I kind of felt the need of adding a new label to it, which was a bit more like, so I wanted to divide the two styles that I liked. So I just wanted to make Echolette become something a bit more like listening music, like electronic but slower, or something a bit more like interesting. And then Echo would have been like the nightclub music, that I like to play or produce. And Echolette was like a feminine name when it started, so I wanted to do like a male version of it, and that's how I got to start Echoe. Yeah. It might have been at times that might have been tracks that reflected the mood of the society in that particular moment, but I kind of follow always my line of interest, like, so there's something that I really like, I don't care, about what's going on in the mainstream world, or whatever you want to call it. So there has been at times there's been tracks that, yes, definitely like were hot at the moment because maybe it was a new artist that was just coming out, and that was the sound that he was following, and I liked it. But when you look at the catalog, I think more or less is, especially maybe in the last few years, it's more really what I want to release. The first years, yes, definitely felt like it was following. It felt like it was following a bit like the mood, yeah. I think it's nice to take risks, to not to do anything that anyone else is doing, and to bring something new to the table, because if you just keep on following the society in that moment and you don't take any risks, it just gets boring because it's like everyone is doing the same music. So it's nice when you can just make your own thing, like, or bring a new style, or like, for instance, like there's a release of Andrea Crestani, and like I felt like his release was a bit different, especially there was one track that it was a bit more like left field sound. And then for instance, a few years back, he made this amazing track that didn't fit anywhere in that particular moment, but it was a great success, using Byron Stingley voice. So I mean, it's important, I think, to keep your own sound and don't think about what's going on around. To stand out as well, but I mean, I don't do it to stand out. I just do it because it's more interesting for me personally. It's more exciting to see how the people react, and what people say when they hear something a bit different. Also as an artist, I also do this. Like I try not to. There was like a couple of times that maybe I was like, oh, I need to make this track, that sounds like that, and then I never managed to finish it. So like it's really like hard. It's actually harder to do that rather than keep your own like sound or But whoever make that sound is always the best making that sound. So if you try to replicate someone else's sound, it's never gonna be the same, So it's gonna be like a poor version of whatever it's going on at the moment. So it's more risky than actually. I think taking risks is more like trying to replicate someone else's sound than your own. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff coming out every month, and we've been releasing every month in the last not year, but maybe 6 months. And I've kind of feel maybe it's a little bit too much, and maybe I'm gonna have to slow down. But the other reason why is because before we used to do vinyl. So when you do vinyl, like it's easier, like it's better for you to do every 2-3 months, because obviously like it's a vinyl. When digital is much easier. But I find that back in the days, I remember that you wouldn't release every month. If you release a track, you needed to wait like 3 months before releasing another one, and 3 months was already like very quick. So absolutely, I think it's better to release less and good quality, and trying to concentrate on like the promotion or the promotion basically, and just help that release to be noticed. You kind of keep on hitting the same people, same magazines, same blogs, and like they can give you like a little bit of attention like on one, but then the next one they might not even. I find that the feedback is smaller, and you have less chance to have a good premiere, because you can get a good premiere for one release, but then the next release you might not get it, because they already covered your previous one, So I think every 3 months is quite reasonable. It's kind of, as you said, it's bad and good, but obviously it was nicer when it was, vinyl only, or even vinyl and digital. You would like press the vinyl first, the vinyl would come out first, so everyone would just run and get the vinyl, and then like the digital would come after 2 weeks. But now it's so like easy and accessible, to get tracks, when before it was more exclusive. So you would go out and listen to someone playing, and they only had that record, maybe not many other people had. And the accessibility of the music, obviously, because you're not, like as DJs, what makes a nice DJ set? It's like when you don't know the track, or you just you hardly hear that track, or maybe you know the track but you couldn't get the track, So I think the accessibility of music in the digital world is what makes it worse. But on the other hand, it's good for a lot of people that don't play vinyl, or cannot afford to get vinyl, and it's just speeding up the process and speeding up the way that music moves, So it's becoming a very, very busy industry. And there's a lot of other things that happen after that, like for instance, like there's a lot of vinyl only releases now, which are also really cool. So you can go to the record shop, and they're like, usually they press like 100, so that you really don't get any more than that. Then it becomes more exclusive. So, and there is a lot of old tracks that you can now find on digital. So you can find like stuff that you wouldn't imagine you could find before unless you had a vinyl. But they've been released in digital, or they've been recorded by someone into digital, so you're, and they're for sale. So, I mean, it's hard to say if it's bad or good, but from my point of view, I don't even know what I prefer. but I keep on like researching my music in a way that I don't play what a lot of stuff that other people have. And I do record my own old school vinyl into digital, so that, you know, I have it and it's there, and it's like playing an old vinyl when I don't play vinyl. So yeah, that's it. A time that stood still. I think both, I guess. I mean, us as a label, I never thought I wanted to just, you know, release an artist and then like say, okay, now, you know, I'm gonna help you, whatever. I always want everyone to be able to do whatever they want. And obviously, like, when I release an artist, I always, like, after a few months ask, okay, do you want to release again, and help them in that sense. But you know, there are other labels that have a different approach, so they really like make booking agencies where they can book all their artists, and I didn't want to get into that. It was just like literally I just wanted to release, and I wanted people to be free, you know, like of releasing wherever they wanted. And but I think it's nice also the other approach, but that just doesn't fit me. And I think also promoters and venues, yes, of course, they need to work with you know, the agencies to help an artist to you know, to be able to get people to know him and like help him to grow a bit, you know. I think it's everyone's really, you know, like when someone is good and like is new, you know, I've always find that people are actually talking about it, and everyone wants, you know, to help, you know. And it's good if the label can do it, you know. Like, I still think, again, my labels are more like a platform where people can release and people can listen to, and that's what it is, you know. Like eventually, like you know, if I'm gonna have to start, if I want to start like making like label parties, you know, of course I'm gonna, you know, help even more, you know, like, because help even more the artists to stand out, you know, and be part of one family, you know. But again, I just want artists to be free and be part of all the families they want to be part of, you know. So it's also down to the artist to make the right moves, you know. I kind of like went and listened to all the releases and just picked up like my favorite tracks. I mean, there were many of them, and also I couldn't like repeat artists, you know, like, so I kind of, after doing the first selection, I did another selection, so I chose a track for every artist, and then like I just tried to put them together. I wanted something that would be long, you know, that would last for long, you know, something that people can listen forever, you know, rather than just, it wasn't about the moment now, you know, the moment then. I wanted to mix and mash everything, you know, like all my favorite tracks from different times, and put them on I decided to make like a kind of slowish mix, like 120 I think it is, because it was accessible on both sides. So because Echolette is a little bit, some of the tracks of Echolette are a bit more like listening, and some not listening, like, but not so dance floor, and the others are more like dance floor. So I wanted to meet in between, so that the dance floor maybe sounded a little bit less dance floor, and like the ones that were a bit slower would sound a bit more like dance floor. So, and I wanted to make something interesting, like with different sounds, so like a trip, you know, like I wanted variety, yeah, in the mix. So yeah, so I started to just put tracks together, and then whenever I saw that one track wouldn't work, I would replace it with another track from that artist. Or there are some artists, unfortunately, that I really wanted to put in, but they didn't fit at all because that particular tracks. Or I think, again, like connecting to the first question you asked me about the social moment, I chose all tracks that are not from any social moments. I think so. Maybe there's one but it fits. So I try to choose tracks that are kind of like they don't have an end. death, or whatever you want to call it. So they live longer, you know. And it was really fun actually, because I was upset I couldn't fit some of the artists, but it was too, maybe it was too extreme stuff, you know. But I'm happy with the results, so I hope people will like it.